Good afternoon. Years ago, Barry Sanders, one of the greatest football players to ever lace him up, told his son, "You know what, son? I don't know that you're going to be the kind of football player that I was because I don't know that you're going to have the dad that I had." Wow. There's so much truth there. There's so much, a lot of things to that statement. And it has very little to do with football, but it has everything to do with our primal need for a father. Many of us today have good fathers and have had good fathers who have influenced us, but for a lot of people, they have not had a good relationship with their dad or any relationship at all. And yet, it is still fundamental. It's something that we all need to have. And if we don't, we can feel the effects of it. This season for me, especially this last half of the year or last part of the year, in many ways has been a season of suffering. God has allowed me to suffer. And again, some of it I believe I have brought it upon myself. And some of it God has just allowed me to sort of dangle out there and suffer. And the Bible talks about that God disciplines those whom he loves. Yes, folks, discipline can be a loving act. It can be a loving gesture. You don't want to just let somebody go on their way, even if it causes their own destruction, like a lot of people think. It's not good to just let people wander off into the war zone. You need to be prepared. People need to be prepared. Children need to be prepared. And you and I, even as adults, we are still, if we are washed in the blood of Christ, we are still considered God's children. And he allows us to suffer. Sin is real. Sin is very real. And oftentimes, the only way it can be removed is through pain and suffering. I hate to be so bleak, especially the last couple of days of the year, but I want to remind you that there is hope. There is hope in this life. There's hope in this life, no matter where you've come from, no matter where you think you're headed. God is real, and he is the real and true loving Father. The Bible says he is the Father of lights. God doesn't have anything to apologize for. God is loving from day one, and it is us who reject God. God has given me life so many times, even when I have asked, not necessarily vocally or verbally, but by my actions or by my attitudes or by my thoughts or feelings. When I have asked for death, God has said, "No, you will live." I pray that the author of life, who is God, I pray that he speaks life to your situation, no matter what it is, whether it's a work thing or a finance thing or a health thing or a family thing. Let God speak life to you. Turn to him. Ask him for life, and he will give it to you. I thank you for this opportunity, and I pray you have a good end of the year.